Britain has more than 10,000 miles of coastline. It protects and enthralls in equal measure. From the northern reaches of Scotland to the playgrounds of the rich and famous in the south, all the fun of the fair in the east, to fishing ports in the west. But these shores and the people who live on them also need looking after. That's where the Coastline Cops come in. A special kind of police officer, taking on a very different type of challenge.
That's the side of the Queen Mary. She's got a quite clean bottom.
Tonight, protecting multi-million-pound lifestyles in Hampshire.
Just checking to see that you haven't been to any terrorist training camps in Pakistan or anything.
Chasing burglars in Lowestoft. Drama on the beach in Cumbria.
Oh my God, are they still alive?
And in Scarborough, every parent's worst nightmare.
We've got a young lass that's gone missing, 9-year-old.
2009 was no barbecue summer, but thanks to the recession, nearly 40 million Britons holidayed at home, putting the Coastline Cops under pressure. Nowhere more so than in Southampton. The Solent is Britain's busiest waterway. Every year, 1 million ships pass through this channel, which runs between the south coast of England and the Isle of Wight. It's policed by an elite team of Coastline Cops, led by Sergeant Andy Simpson. Equipped with 2 high-speed ribs and 3 patrol vessels, their job is to protect the £2.5 billion worth of leisure craft that use these waters and make sure unwanted visitors are kept at bay.
There's an awful lot of places on Southampton water that we keep an eye on from the counter-terrorist angle. Not just the fixed installations like the refineries and the power station, but you've also got things like the big iconic cruise ships, even the ferries and what have you. You know, we've got to accept that in the past terrorist attacks have occurred on the transport infrastructure, so it's obviously something that we do take very seriously.
This week, Sergeant Simpson has an extra challenge. It's Cows Week, the biggest sailing festival in the world, attracting 1,000 racing boats, 8,000 sailors, and 100,000 eager spectators.
Tragically, every year there always seems to be one serious accident or a fatality, usually not related to the regatta whatsoever. It's just obviously a lot more people in Cowes, a lot more boat owners in Cowes that week, so the chances of it happening are greater.
Simpson and his Coastline Cops are determined that this year, on their watch, things will be different. At least that's the general idea.
Got what I think is a water skier down here that's fallen off. If he is skiing here, he's in a very silly place to ski. All right there. This is an extremely silly place to be skiing. You're right in the middle of the channel, so apart from the fact it's illegal, you're going to get run down by a red jet or something.
We got told it's anywhere.
No. You see the green buoy? You just have a look at the line of the green buoys and make sure you're well the other side of them. That's the main shipping channel. That's where all the boats are going to be coming belting down here at 30 odd knots. And if you've got a water skier in the water, he's going to be right old mess of.
Sergeant Simpson hasn't always been a seafaring cop. Once he was a landlubber, pounding the streets of Southampton. But now, after 11 years with the Marine Unit, he would never even dream of returning to work in a big city.
It is a good job, I have to admit. I can't think of another job within the police force that I'd choose to do. I've done a fair few of them, and this is by far the best one.
This is the coast of Suffolk, in East Anglia. 100 miles of golden beaches and sleepy seaside towns, like Southwold, Aldborough, and Walberswick. Bucking the trend is Suffolk's liveliest coastal town, and the most easterly point in the UK, Lowestoft. Keeping the peace here is a small team of Coastline Cops led by Inspector Sarsfield Donoghue, a veteran who used to work in Harlow on the edge of London. He believes in leading from the front, and the move to the coast hasn't changed him one bit.
I mean, I've always been very hands-on. I mean, I've been a police officer 18 years now, and I've always been uniformed and on response and front line. And I will make time to go out with the officers and patrol with them. I kind of like to lead by example. I won't ask my PC to do anything that I wouldn't do myself.
Donohue's team is facing a challenge from burglars.
2 burglaries took place in Blunston and Corton on the 20th.
There's been a sudden surge of break-ins, 6 a week, and Donohue's determined to put a stop to it.
Certainly working in a coastal area compared to a town, a lot of the crime is committed by locals. So you will get to know who's who and you know the faces.
Knowing and seeing all the faces is one thing. Catching them at it is quite another. But this time, they have a footprint, found at the scene of a break-in.
Footprint here is a Reebok 162, and that is it for today. Let's have a look.
Local officers having local knowledge is a big part of this job. You pick up little pieces here and there which at the time are insignificant, but then it could be the whole key to something later on.
In the summer, many of Lowestoft's break-ins happen in broad daylight, when the residents join the holidaymakers on the beach. Inspector Donohue and his team have been tipped off that a group of local lads have been seen leaving a house near the seafront.
There's been an attempted break on London Road, just off London Road South. Descriptions given matches a male who's with a group of youths on London Road South in a moment. A number of these youths have been suspected of being involved in burglaries and thefts recently. Yeah, Barney, confirm you're going to turn them over? Confirm we are going to turn them over now.
The boys have been spotted on a street corner less than 100 yards away.
Turn them over, section 1 search, take them to one side. If we get problems with any of them, deal with them as per normal public order.
Yeah, okay.
Hands-on Donohue intends to take the suspects by surprise.
Got a runner? Go to the base, that was legging it. Go on the front, got something in his pocket.
Inspector Donohue and his team are no match for young legs.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the runaway boys have been seen jumping over a fence by a passing motorist. Once again, it's the inspector who's leading from the front. But is he in time? In North Yorkshire, the great summer at home is also drawing thousands to the coast. More than 1 million visitors have come to sample the delights of the resort towns of Robin Hood's Bay, Whitby, and the most eminent of them all, Scarborough. Scarborough was Britain's first seaside resort. Victorians used to come here to take the waters. Today, it's more fish and chips than tea and scones. PC John Fawcett doesn't care about that. He's been a coastline cop for 15 years and doesn't care what the tourists eat.
Look at this as a backdrop. It's absolutely fantastic. As you can see out there, all the ocean, lovely. Got boats out there. Really, really peaceful day like it is today. Not too windy. What else can anybody wish for? I've worked in the cities, but having worked out here now, in a seaside resort that we cover, I don't think I'd be as content working back in the big cities. You know, really enjoy myself out here, and that's what it's all about. It's a main bank holiday weekend. Very, very busy time for ourselves. Roughly from about April through to September is our busiest time, holiday makers. I enjoy it, I do. I like meeting lots of people coming in from all over the area, and that's probably one of the main reasons why I joined. You know, 1 minute we can be having a chat now, looking at the scenery, and the next minute we could be getting dispatched to a job.
Named Nicola. She's described as 4'3", thin build, shoulder length, straight blonde hair. Last seen evidence just over half an hour ago.
We've just got a report coming in over the radio that there's a missing girl, 9 years of age, that's believed to have been missing about 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so. We're just going to have a quick scout around the area, see if we can see her. Hopefully she won't have wandered off too far. As soon as you hear that call coming in that there's a lost child, your heart starts to flutter and you get out there as quickly as possible. I've got 3 children of my own, under 7, so I know what the parents are thinking.
She's not particularly streetwise.
We've got a further update coming through now.
Yeah, she's not a local girl, so she doesn't know the area that well.
Have they stated any places that she's likely to wander, such as arcades, toy shops, anything like that would give us some sort of indication where she's likely to be?
I've been down the seafront today, and that sort of held her interest. So we're just wondering whether she's made her way back down there.
The girl's 9-year-old has been missing for about 45 minutes, I believe now, not 30 minutes. Most children, when they go wander off, they wander off for 5 or 10 minutes at a time. The main concern is if Dad's gone into one shop, the little girl's not seen her, she's probably panicked and she'll now be running around, possibly trying to find Mum and Dad.
For the Coastline Cops, there'll be more running around. As PC Fawcett tries to track down the little girl.
1466 control, go ahead.
Inspector Donahue continues to hunt young burglars. And Sergeant Simpson has a sense of humour about terrorists.
Checking to see that you haven't been to any terrorist training camps in Pakistan or anything.
In Scarborough, on the North Yorkshire coast, PC John Fawcett is still trying to find a missing 9-year-old girl. She's been gone for almost an hour.
We've got a young lass that's gone missing, 9-year-old, blonde straight hair, wearing a yellow floral sort of top with a white fleece and grey leggings. Can you keep an eye on for us? We're just going to have a quick look round at the moment. All right. Obviously, as you can appreciate, quite a large amount of people about, busy bank holiday weekend, but at the moment, the main priority is looking for this girl. 1466 control, go ahead.
The police control room has news.
Yeah, monitored. I'll make my way back to my vehicle, that being the case. At the moment, we've got a possible sighting by one of the lifeguards on the south side of the beach area. So we're maybe looking down here, outside the arcades, maybe a little bit further down. You'll have to excuse me if I have to shoot off rather quick. Hello, mate.
Hi there.
There's a young girl that's gone missing, young 9-year-old. Is she here?
She's
right.
here, yeah.
1466 control. Great news. Got the little girl with me now. Oh yeah, you all right?
Very brave, aren't you? Yeah.
You've done well, haven't you? We've been looking all over for you. Lovely. We'll get off, mate.
Yeah, that's excellent.
All right, Cooker. No worries. Come on then. You want to ride in a police car? All right. What happened then? How come you wandered off?
I was sitting on a bench.
All right.
And
Oh, well, not too worried. Your daddy's and your mummy's up there, so hopefully we're going to get into the police car now and we'll go up and we'll see him. Don't get yourself worked up there. You've had a bit of a shock. Don't let that put you off. It's a nice place, this Scarborough. Where else have you been? Been to America? Have you been to Disneyland? And what do you think to Disneyland?
It's really good, but not as good as Scarborough.
Disneyland is not as good as Scarborough, and we've got that officially. There we go. You need to put your seatbelt on. All right. And then we'll go see your dad.
Every summer, Scarborough's Coastline Cops deal with 60 missing children alerts.
Thank you. All right. Makes our job worthwhile. All the stories that you hear. Well, enjoy the rest of your holiday. Yeah, I hope it's not put you off.
All right, thank you.
In Lowestoft, Inspector Donahue is still hot on the trail of the young lad suspected of burglary.
Hide in the bushes at the back, Barney. Hiding in the bushes around the back.
All right.
The trouble is, they don't fit the description of the youths seen leaving the house earlier. And their trainers don't match the footprints found at previous burglaries. But they ran away from police, and that's a crime in Inspector Donohue's book.
Sorry, Barney. I'm going to foot police.
Should I just say?
I'm in for that,
Okay.
PC Barney's going to charge them with wasting police time, obstructing justice.
We mightn't have caught them doing that particular burglary, but we'll do our best to catch them in the next one. Any small offences, you keep getting among them, keep dealing with them positively, and eventually get the message. And the idea is just either disrupt or deter them or draw them elsewhere.
Getting the message across won't solve Donohue's burglary crisis, but it should send a warning to those responsible. In the Solent, Hampshire's Coastline Cops are still trying to police the highlight of their summer, Cows Week, and the 8,000 sailors the regatta has attracted. Sergeant Simpson and his Marine Unit have their work cut out, but it helps when you're a seafaring man yourself.
Yeah, I do a bit of sailing, which comes in very useful on this job because you really need to know what a yachtsman is about to do in front of you. You need to understand that he is restricted by the wind direction and by his draft, and being a sailor gives you a bit of a clue as to what they may do. I've got to be honest, I don't think my boat would compete very well. I do compete in our club races. I consistently come last, but I thoroughly enjoy myself.
Sergeant Simpson won't be doing any sailing himself today. He's far too busy. Nearly half of Britain's pleasure craft are now moored here. Everything from luxury yachts to customised runabouts. They're all an attractive proposition for criminals. And with boats coming from all over the world, Simpson also has to fulfill his counter-terrorism duties.
Hello? Hello, how do you do? Do you speak English? Thank heavens, because I don't speak Dutch. Well, I'd just like to take a few details from you, if I may. Could I see your passport?
This is mine.
Lovely. Thank you. Thanks very much. Just checking to see that you haven't been to any terrorist training camps in Pakistan or anything, but would appear not. We are mainly a counter-terrorist unit. I've got no reason whatsoever to suspect that these people are Dutch terrorists or anything similar, but we just need to get the message across to anybody out there who's thinking of coming into the UK, that if you do come into the waters of Hampshire or the Isle of Wight, then there's every chance that police officers are going to come on your boat and just have a friendly chat and check your documentation and what you're doing here and where you've come from, etc. Lovely. All right, well, thank you very much.
Okay.
Enjoy your time.
Well, thank you very much. Okay.
Sorry to disturb you.
In the northwest of England, the Cumbrian coast was once dominated by a network of large coal mines and factories. When the coal industry fell into decline, the seaports had to look to tourism for a lifeline. One such is Maryport, a tiny harbour town situated on the Solway estuary. 11,000 people live here. In charge of the local police is Inspector George Nevins. He spent 23 years as a CID officer, investigating major criminals, drug gangs and armed robbers. 3 years ago, he swapped his detective's badge for a uniform to become a coastline cop.
It's worlds apart, you know. You're not following a drug dealer at 100 miles an hour down a motorway or sitting in Heathrow Airport, you know, in the departure lounge next to him whilst he's waiting to fly to Amsterdam to get his drugs, you know. It would never enter my mind to have gone back into uniform after 23 years on CID. But honestly, it's the best thing that's ever happened. I absolutely love it.
The highlight of Maryport's summer is its Blues Festival, now in its 11th year. 40,000 music fans are expected, and trouble will inevitably accompany them.
On any weekend, you know, there will be incidents of antisocial behaviour, there will be incidents of drunkenness, there will be incidents of domestic violence. That's in most towns on most weekends. But this weekend we've got upwards of 40 to 50,000 people here, so, you know, there's a lot of drink flying around, you know, the pubs are open later than they'd normally be, so it has the potential to increase violence. Ideal for me is that everybody who comes here has a brilliant weekend, nobody's injured, and all my staff are safe, and the community's all safe.
The sun is out, the music is pumping. For now at least, the fans are singing the blues and sinking the booze.
We normally have an on-street drinking ban in Maryport, but on occasions such as this, we allow people to drink outside in either cans or plastic cups. No glasses though, because it being impossible to stop people drinking at this time of year. People like to sit outside and enjoy the sunshine and enjoy performances, and I think it would cause more of a problem if we tried to stop people drinking in the area.
Maryport has 15 pubs, many of them close to the old harbour. PC's Louise Tall and Dave Chewer have been told to keep an eye on the people who are drinking there. PC Tall is 5'6", and she used to work in retail sales before she became a Coastline Cop.
Basically going from a 9-to-5 desk job Monday to Saturday to shifts, days, nights, unsociable hours. So very, very big change. Like sometimes you come home from work and think, yes, I've had the best day, and sometimes you come home from work and you think, why do I do it?
PC Chewer hopes they won't be wondering why this time.
I don't know what time exactly the bands are all due to finish, but you know, we're here till 1 o'clock, so I'm assuming everything will finish before then. And hopefully everyone will just have a good night and go home peacefully, and be looking forward to next year's event. So fingers crossed.
Inspector Nevins isn't crossing his fingers. He's already got a sense that trouble is brewing.
Some people have been drinking, you know, for quite a few hours now. So you know, as you can see as you're walking around, the atmosphere, the individuals have changed. You know, the demeanour's changed. You know, and obviously some of the local, what we'd probably call idiots, are in town. So you can expect something happening. You know.
Coming up, Inspector Donahue is on the run again. More summer blues in Maryport. And what can Sergeant Simpson do with a drunken sailor?
I don't know whether I'm actually drunk. Yeah, I've had a few pims and lemonade.
It's shocking, isn't it?
In Maryport, West Cumbria, the Blues Festival is finished and most of the visitors have gone. But 40,000 people leave a lot behind.
You just have to look at it. It's not exactly what you want to see, I think. I'd say as far as the rest of the day's gone so far, it's been very well-natured, so you've got to hope that it's going to be that way again tonight. However, the amount of drink that's been taken on board, it could change at any minute. So.
He's talking to himself. He's on the phone.
PC Chewer's got no time to join in the fun tonight. Reports are coming in of an incident at the harbour.
Yeah, Sean, we're on our way down, mate. Somebody's fallen into the bottom of the harbour. Let's make away, lads.
Let me know, Paul. Down there, straight down here, Paul.
A man who's been drinking has fallen off the harbour wall.
The water's very shallow down the bottom. He's caught his neck on some stone down there. Got a bit of a laceration on his neck.
Oh my God. Are they still alive?
Yeah, they are. I don't know if he's got any injuries to his back or his spine, so we're going to need to get him out of the water. Get him out. Just want to watch yourself. Watch out. Watch out. If he's got bad neck injuries or he can't feel anything, we're going to have to leave him there. Maybe have to lift him out with a helicopter or something like that.
PC Tall was one of the first to get to the man.
How is he?
I don't think we can really tell yet, to be honest.
He's probably got some quite nasty internal injuries, if not a broken leg or two. But the fact that he's drunk is making it quite hard to get any sort of sensible response out of him or find out where it's hurting. We're going to need 20 yards clearance all the way around. We've got the helicopter coming in. Right, you're all moving back, please. Thank you. Everybody back down. Come on. Get down, please. Basically, we're just going to clear the area, make sure that everyone's safe, and then the helicopter's coming in. It's going to be the safest, easiest and quickest route of getting him out of where he is now and getting him towards a hospital.
It's a crucial time. If the man does have a spinal injury, his life could be in danger. He needs to be taken to hospital quickly, but there is no easy way to get him out.
Just the ambulances and everything are going to have to get down here, and all the fire crews.
Any keys?
In Lowestoft, Inspector Donahue is still trying to work out how to put an end to the spate of burglaries in the town.
John, jump in with me.
But tonight he keeps getting distracted by visitors who just can't seem to savour the joys of summer without a punch-up.
I've got Mike. Hey, hi Juliet. Yeah, there's a report of a fight near one of the clubs, but 8 males gathered around one who's lying on the floor, blood coming from his face. Just one nudge up here.
Bouncers have given descriptions of the ringleaders.
Dogs, go, Johnny! Where's the other one? Where's the other one?
With 2 men in handcuffs, Inspector Donahue needs to find out who caused the fracas. Luckily, someone's ready to help. A young man in a hat.
I don't know, mate.
Just a minute, can you stand over there a second?
No, do one, fella.
No,
honestly.
Fuck, do one.
Mate, I really wouldn't, mate.
I really wouldn't, fella. Walk away now. Me to do one.
Honestly, mate. Sorry.
I don't know if he's involved, Glenn. Bloke with a hat, can you hold him for a second?
Sometimes people are too keen to get involved with the police. Inspector Donahue radios a colleague to find out more about the helper with the hat.
There's a bloke stood over here outside Hush with me, bloke with a hat. Is he involved?
I've got nothing to do with it, buddy. Nothing to do with it, honestly.
Well, there's no need to come over and start covering up.
You just called me about a hat.
No, when you came over the first time.
Did you? Oh, no, because I know him.
Yeah, but there's no need to get involved, is there?
No, I'm sorry.
Right, OK then. It's all right, cheers, mate. All right, go and have a good night then. That's it.
For now, Inspector Donahue is content to leave things be. In Maryport, the Coastline Cops aren't worried about brawling lads. They're still struggling to get their injured man out of the harbour.
Where's he going? Steps, so we were getting up here. Steps. Right, we just found out the helicopter's not coming now. It's going to be an hour, so obviously we can't wait that long. So this gentleman's now going to be walked right across there. There's a set of steps at the other end of the harbour. They're going to try and walk him up the steps. That's going to be the only alternative we've got. It's not obviously the chosen one that we'd have wanted to have gone down, but obviously we can't wait an hour for a helicopter when this gentleman's obviously got quite bad injuries. What are we going to do? We're going to lift him straight over there, are we? Going straight over. Fingers crossed the fella's going to be all right.
For the police officers involved in the rescue, there's no time for a long shower. PC Tall is needed to help deal with a drunk from one of the pubs who's not at all happy about being locked up in a police van.
Do you know what? I've lost all scale of time. I have absolutely no idea. Come out the road, come on. I'm mainly dry. I think I've still got some mud in places, like in my ears. Well, apparently his party trick is to hang off bridges, and today it went wrong because he fell off. I hope he's all right. He looked to have some nasty injuries, and it took us a while to... His location was just so awkward to get to. But we got there, we got him out, and he's off to hospital now. So he's in the right hands.
"400 miles south on the Solent, Cowes Week has reached its climax. Sergeant Simpson faces the most testing part of the entire week. At least 50,000 glasses of champagne have been drunk at the regatta.
Unfortunately, this is the one night of the year that people that never go out in their boat in the hours of darkness are out. A little bit extra drinking goes on in the town and on their boats and what have you. And it's a different world out here when it's dark.
Boats without lights are potentially lethal, even when the sailors in them know what they're doing.
If you're going to go out at night on a dinghy like that, you need everything. You need full set of whites, you need the reds and greens. But even if you've got a hand torch, it's better than what you have got, isn't it?
There will be no end to the warnings given by Sergeant Simpson tonight.
Yeah, we've got one here, some idiot who thinks he's immune from everything. The ocean sea nearly ran you down because they didn't see you. Another disaster averted. We will just have a chat with this dinghy and teach them the error of their ways. I'll just take your details and we'll leave it as a warning, all right? Just a classic example of very experienced yachtsman, knows exactly what lights he should have, and for some reason I just think that they don't need lights when they're coming out, or that they're immune, or that everyone's got night vision or something.
Then, in the dark, another dinghy, without lights and sailing over the speed limit.
I mean, I don't know how many criminal offences you've committed tonight. You've got no lights, that is an offence. You are drunk in charge of your vessel, that is also an offence.
Yeah.
All right?
Well, I don't know whether I'm actually drunk. Yeah, I've had a few pims and lemonade, but I've not been...
No, I've never met you sober, but in my opinion, you've had too much to drink. All right? You're slurred.
Yeah, okay. So no more, senor.
And I've got no intention of letting you carry on in this state, all right? So I'm going to tow you back to your berth at East Casmarin.
It's not the Coastline Cops who rule the waves here. It's the harbour master who will decide this man's fate come daylight.
It's a very difficult offence to prove. There's no power of arrest that goes with it. There's no power to demand a breath test, no power to demand a sample of blood. They could cause all sorts of havoc out here whilst drunk.
In West Cumbria, Inspector George Nevins doesn't let his drunks go home. He locks them up.
It's just turned 12 o'clock by my watch on Saturday night. Starting to warm up. I mean, at the present there's 9 in the cells out of a possible 16 that we've got.
And there are 2 more. Young men who have been fighting outside a nightclub. They've clearly had more than pims and lemonade. And one claims he's been roughed up by the Coastline Cops who arrested him.
How are you doing? I'm not doing. See these one here? They've bullied me. What's your number? 209.
Calm yourself down, fella.
What's your number?
Calm yourself down. Cut the swearing and calm yourself down.
Manhandling me.
Keep your head down. Calm yourself up. Talk to me. All right. Calm yourself down and we'll have to go straight to the cell.
The lad had surely been drinking. But he also might have taken something else. Inspector Nevins is concerned. The young man's his responsibility. But only his mate can provide an answer to the behaviour.
What's he been taking?
Nothing. Just drink.
That's
what he's like when he gets arrested for
That's not just drink, mate. Now, from a medical point of view, we might need to help him. Have you drunk the same as what he's drunk?
No, I'm not doing it now. He can do it that much.
Because your pupils are completely different to his. That's not normal behaviour. No. From your point of view, we're not trying to trip you up or out like that, mate. All I'm trying to do is find out what he's taking.
Don't help him.
The lad in the cells is, in my opinion, taking something other than drink, and his behaviour, you know, he's really going to seriously hurt himself.
Get back! Get back!
So in this situation, we've got to try and protect him. And the only way we want to protect him is to put leg restraints on him and handcuffs, and try and keep him in a position so he just can't damage himself any further.
Onto your neck!
Listen, go down now. Can you please have a drink? Just calm down. Yeah, can I have a drink?
On count of 3, I'm going to lift you up. Okay? 1, 2, 3.
Right, put your back on there.
So put your legs on there. Just calm yourself down. Okay? And then we'll get it sorted out.
Seems to be a bit better now.
Keep yourself down.
He's having a drink of water now, so he's calming himself down. Till he actually starts coming down off the drugs, there's not much we can do other than try and protect him. He's going to wake up in the morning with some very sore bones and muscles.
In Lowestoft, Inspector Donahue has a pair of brawling lads in custody, and he's not happy about it either.
It's gone silly tonight. It's been just job to job to job.
He wants to get on with his main mission, finding the lads who've been robbing his residence. If the man in the hat will let him.
Captain Birdseye!
The man has put himself in the way once too often. Inspector Donahue is not a cop who tolerates obscene gestures.
What the f am I getting done for?
For displaying that sign to us. Outside hush and outside heads.
All right, you mug. All right, you mug. I was down walking home, doing nothing, minding my own business. Minding my own business. Yeah.
The man is now facing a second charge, assaulting a police officer with his foot. Usually offenders are seen by a custody sergeant before being locked up. But when someone is resisting arrest like this, they go directly to the cells.
Face down. Spin around so his legs are towards the door.
You are using too much force.
We're clear? Close. Done. We'll take a tough line on basically disorder and behaviour. I mean, nobody said he can't go out and have a few drinks and have a good time, but when he steps over the line and starts basically being disorderly or especially threatening towards police officers, then we'll take a zero tolerance approach on that.
It will be zero tolerance too at Maryport, as Inspector Nevins' night shift turns even darker.
But they've gone for every room.
And Inspector Donahue gets a crack at his burglars at last. In Lowestoft, on the coast of Suffolk, it's all quiet on the seafront. But in the back streets, Coastline Cop Inspector Donahue and his sidekick PC Mark Barney have at last begun their crackdown on local burglars, the ones who leave shoe prints behind.
Two males, dark clothing, back garden, panel this from the back door, and somebody's carrying a duvet made off from the alley at the back of Edgerton Road. Wheelie bin's been used to get over the gate. There's no footprint on it. Has anybody spoken to informant yet?
The owners of the house are on holiday. A neighbour saw two young lads force their way into the house and called the police.
But they've gone for every room.
Out back, PC Barney and the rest of the team are trying to work out which way the burglars went. It doesn't take long. They left in a hurry, dropping some of the stuff they stole. Jewellery and a laptop.
We've got some property in the back.
Way out, look, straight out onto the road. Yeah.
Donahue's coastline cops all live locally and recognise the house behind which the stolen goods are lying.
Bet you. Yeah.
A convicted young burglar lives just a few doors away.
That goes straight out onto the road, there's no gates or anything.
We do have somebody nearby who is known to us. And it's probably just a little bit coincidental that this house is just down the road from theirs, and the property that was found abandoned was found over their back fence. But unfortunately, coincidence is enough to go and nick him.
A coincidence is enough for Inspector Donahue to justify paying his suspect a house call. The suspect's house is in darkness, and no one's coming to the door. But a few streets away, a chase is on. Two young lads have been spotted, and they're on the run. In Maryport, Inspector Nevins is in the police call centre. It seems the hunch he had earlier was right.
Was that the butcher's?
He's getting reports of a fight outside the Butcher's Arms in Maryport. It's on CCTV, but the call centre doesn't have a feed. Inspector Nevins only has his police radio.
An officer's pressed the emergency button on the radio, which goes live for 10 seconds, so they're obviously desperately... So I've deployed somebody. Who's gone on?
Sergeant Jackson, 971's attending.
Jackson 1971 is one of his most experienced officers, Jacko to his colleagues. He's been sent as backup.
Somebody pressing again. It's gone again.
The situation is going from bad to worse. A female officer is now being attacked, and when Jackson calls for help, you jump.
There's a group of males now trying to get her free. So you know it's bad when Jacko's asking for help. You might want to put your seatbelt on, Ian.
Nevins needs to get to the scene fast. Female officers under attack is his worst nightmare.
My wife is a policewoman, and she is very good at talking to people and diffusing situations. But yes, I do worry about her on night shift, because some of these individuals, it takes half a dozen people to control them, you know, not just one person. 3015 at scene.
More coastline cops have also rushed to the fight, and the man who is attacking the policewoman is now in handcuffs, if not yet fully subdued. As usual, local knowledge comes in handy. Inspector Nevins knows the man well.
The male that was arrested is a big violent male, and his face is covered in tattoos, and he's irregular.
Get out of this bag.
Haven't seen anything, John?
No.
Give it a police.
I'll get on the bush Scarborough right now. Bring up here. What's the...
The female officer has had a close call.
She's punched 2 or 3 times and had a lot of her hair pulled out.
Oh, wait, there's a video!
And now a woman is facing a public order charge.
It's all quiet at the scene at the minute. There's no other patrols needed, just in case there's some still travelling.
Quiet maybe, but the shift isn't over yet. In Lowestoft, Inspector Donahue and PC Barney are still after the 2 young burglars who did a runner.
It's looking a bit more promising.
One of them has now been detained, but the other one is still out there.
Which way did he go?
I literally pulled out of the school.
Yeah.
Up there. These 2 were walking down here. I got about 100 yards down, and then there was only him here.
PC Barney thinks the second burglar is long gone, and it's time to call it a night. But his boss is having none of it. Even though there's no sign of the lad, he's found the next best thing, a size 8.
How do you manage that?
Shoes and footprints have been at the core of this operation. This is a breakthrough.
2 burglaries took place in Blunston and Corton on the 20th, and the footwear impression which was recovered was a Reebok 162.
Right, stuck on the top of that fence, so he's obviously desperately away for something. There you go.
Hands on your head, hands on your head. Hands on your head. Put your hands on your head.
Come behind,
Right.
I don't even know what the hell I'm being nicked for.
Right, what are you doing coming out of that garden then?
Because my mate's gone somewhere.
No, he ain't.
The second lad, their prime suspect, isn't carrying anything which ties him to any break-ins.
That's okay.
But he is wearing only one shoe.
It's your shoes. Where's your shoes?
Where's your heel?
My shoes over that garden over there.
So you've climbed through a couple of gardens, have you?
No, I jumped this next one, that's all, from that alleyway there.
PC Barney is in his element. If he can match the footprints found at the house which was broken into earlier to the prime suspect's shoes, then they have their man. And that means being clever with his mobile phone.
That other footwear impression, how is it close? Yeah, one of those footprints is the guy he was with.
Right, you, sit your ass down there, go on, and don't move. No, on the ground. Cross your legs under you. Right, stay there.
There's 3 sets of footprint in that garden.
Yeah.
One of them, I'm happy, matches him.
Right, Nick him says burglary, him says burglary.
Long time coming, man, right? You're under arrest on suspicion of burglary, okay? You don't say anything that may have me on offence, you don't mention my impression, assumption later on in court.
VL want to tell? Yeah, read the burglary, Edgerton Road, 2 arrested.
We'll lift you up on your feet, ready? 1, 2, 3, on 2 feet. Okay, mate.
Got his other shoe?
It's the result Inspector Donahue wanted, and it's an arrest that PC Barney thought would never happen.
I owe you an apology for being a naysayer.
Apology accepted, PC Barney. See, 18 years of experience over a mere pup like you.
Yeah, what do I know?
Hey, what do you know, mate? Stick with me, son, I'll teach you it all.
In West Cumbria, Inspector Nevins and his Coastline Cops are also pleased with themselves. Their prisoner, who tried to harm himself, is now a happy man.
How's your head anyway?
That's alright.
You alright? Let you get your head down here.
Because I'm knackered.
For Nevins, it's proof positive that he was right to swap the big city lights for the Cumbrian coastline.
It's very, very satisfying when you can do something to help the community. You know, you can't measure that really. You can't, you know, get as much pleasure out of that as I would locking somebody up for murder or importing drugs. And the sentences are different, but it's not all about that, you know. I've done that, been there, worn the T-shirt. Somebody else does it now.
Next week, the summer wonders of Loch Lomond, spoiled by drugs.
Get your hands out your pockets for me.
Food, glorious food, until it all goes wrong.
Don't go round calling coppers.
And in Scarborough, Saturday night is fight night for the Coastline Cops.
The adrenaline is definitely pumping.